Hello everyone, my name is Joseph Koo. I'm currently a first-year film student here in SFU, and the project that I'll be presenting to you today for the FCAT conference is a 5-minute short film that I wrote and directed for my first semester. It's called Purgatory, and before I get ahead of myself and give you guys spoilers, I will present it for all of you to see, and then I will discuss it afterwards. So without further ado, here it is.
No turning back now. Let's go. I didn't necessarily get Dr. Stanley's blessing for this trip, but I thought there's really nothing left to do. So, it's gonna be this or nothing. If this doesn't work, I'm a drunk. You know what? If this doesn't work, I'm just a drunk. Just a pointless, useless drunk. I have to do this. All the people closest to me have left me. That's the only girl I ever loved because of this. Love. Fuck. Care more about the bottle than her. I gotta do this.
Please, why? John, why? Look what you've done, John. Please stop. John. John, please. Please,
Think about
John.
the children, John.
Stop.
Stop.
Put the bottle down.
Think about your
Please.
future, John. You're gonna
I beg
kill
you,
me,
look
John.
what you've
You're
done.
killing me.
Please, John.
Please
Stop.
Nothing left to do. So, it's gonna be this or nothing. If this doesn't work, care more about the bottle than her. I'm a drunk. You know what? That doesn't. Sorry, God, this doesn't work. Wish I never left the drunk. So much. I'm sorry. This anyone
please,
ever.
please, please,
This
please.
is the closest thing I've lived to my life. Oh my god.
I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I'm so sorry. And there you have it. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch that. So before I get into the nitty-gritty artistic motivation behind the film and my take and my interpretation of it, I'd like to quickly outline the limitations that was imposed on the film in the process of making it by the program. So one, you weren't able to use any music. Two, the film could not have any sync sound, so what was seen on the screen could not sync with the audio and what's being heard. And three, it could only be 5 minutes maximum. I've always been very infatuated and drawn towards these concepts surrounding addiction, vain repetition, insanity. These are things that have always been at the back of my mind, thematically speaking. And I always wanted to create a piece that reflected what it truly felt like to undergo these conditions and the way it affects your cognitive outlook, your way of life, and also the process, hopefully, that occurs afterwards that gets you out of that rut and eventually allows you to go through that metamorphosis and spread your wings and escape that repetitive cycle. I call it Purgatory, and you may have already guessed this, because at the end of the day, when you're involved in addictions, typically when it spins out of control, you feel like you're in purgatory, you feel like you're in hell. It's an absolutely debilitating and devastating cycle and experience for one's life. So I wanted to create a metaphor almost in that sense of the fact that these addictions can be compared to these hellish states. So overall, as much as this film is about addiction, it's also about change and the importance of it, the process, the evolution that you go through as you change. So when you're experiencing change, it typically hurts. It's extremely painful, and I wanted to illustrate that through the withdrawal symptoms and therefore the hallucinations and images and visions that he was seeing, and also the recollection of his past memories. For months, I was perplexed and stuck on what the ending should be exactly for this film. I eventually came to the conclusion that it should illustrate that when you go through this change, in this case, John overcoming his alcoholism, but this applies to any other situation, whether it be an addiction or just anything that requires a change in one's life. When you go through this and you have the will, you have the power, and you overcome all the adversities along the way, you will make it out the other end. You will see the light in the tunnel, and by the time you come out the other side, you're going to be a brand new person, and a person that's much more well off than the person you knew before. And on that note, that concludes my presentation for my film Purgatory. Thank you again for all of your guys' time, and hopefully you guys took something away from the film, thematically speaking, as a cautionary tale. If you guys have any other opinions or perspectives or interpretations of the film, do not hesitate to comment it or DM me. But otherwise, thank you.